How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Joe Biden ordering an airstrike on Syria, killing at least 22 people and destroying plenty of structures, a bunch of buildings in Abu Kamal, which is a town in the northeast part of Syria, close to the Iraqi border. And this particular area is seen as a hub for Iraqi Shiite militias that are backed by the Iranians. This is, according to the news, proportionate and a defensive attack. Also, there were some attacks from these Iranian-backed Iraqi troops in Erbil on a U.S.-led coalition base. A bunch of rockets were thrown at the base, and I think one of the rocket attacks in Erbil was deadly. I'm not really sure who died, if it was the U.S., if it was anybody else, but they're saying, okay, that was going on, and we can't have that happen anymore, so we're going to send a preemptive strike, which again killed at least 22 people reported by the media. Now, this is pretty interesting when you're talking about the reaction to what's going on and also the timing of it. Just the other day, I saw that Biden had canceled the Keystone XL pipeline. Well, he didn't cancel it totally. Much of the Keystone XL pipeline already exists, but there was one particular piece that's pretty key that was being constructed, which when Biden did that whole thing, rescinding the permit, that totally just stopped construction. All the jobs were lost. And a big way that the oil from the oil sands from Canada would come to the U.S. has been stopped. So I'm thinking, okay, if you're not going to have that continue, that's going to generate a lot of oil for North America, and we won't be dependent upon foreign, meaning offshore oil. What are we going to do? We got to get it from somewhere. We got to get it from Nigeria, Venezuela, Syria. There's a big pipeline right there. I'm not sure if it's built or they want to build it, but they got to secure it some kind of way. And there's been fighting in that part of the world forever. Since the dawn of man, there's been fighting in that part of the world. So what better way than to try and secure it than to launch an airstrike? I'm not saying that's why they did it. Okay, the reason from the media is what I read to you about, well, there was an attack on Erbil and they're trying to protect U.S. troops. But my point of view, my thought process goes straight to they're trying to protect the oil because you got to get the oil from somewhere, okay? If we don't have the oil that we need, things are going to get really weird really quick. Not only the U.S., but also Europe. If they don't have the oil that they need, things are going to get really weird really quick. You're going to go from first world to third world in a heartbeat, okay? But again, it's pretty weird as far as the reaction to this. A lot of these, pro-peace and anti-war liberals are all of a sudden big-time warhawk neocons talking about, oh, this is a good thing. And, it's not about trying to be the big man. It was a quick strike and you got to be pro-America. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. Wait just one doggone minute. Are these the same liberals talking about Black Lives Matter, hands up, don't shoot? We don't need any kind of crazy killings, unjustly innocent people, but it's all right to go and launch an airstrike and kill just anybody. You don't even know who died, how they died, how many. It doesn't even matter. A foreign nation, it could be villagers, innocent people. So what? We got to go over there and do it because we got to have a strong America. People, not everybody, but a lot of people are being blindly partisan. If you're against foreign war, then be against foreign war. When I was on the left as a liberal, I was against foreign war, and I'm still the same way right now. Why would I be in favor of foreign war? How does that help us at all? Now, if we're being attacked over there and we're supposed to be there, like if we're over there working or something like that, I'm in favor of sanctions and that type of thing. If they want to come over here and do something to us, then that's a different story. But just to go over there and strike people, innocent people, for what? Why? What's the reason? I'm definitely not a fan of that at all. Not in the least bit. So I don't care who does it. It can be Donald Trump, George W. Bush, Barack Obama, Joe Biden. I don't care. It could be Ronald Reagan himself. Whoever does a thing that I don't like when you're talking about foreign war, I'm going to be against it regardless. I'm not going to be partisan in my condemnation of foreign war. When Trump did the Syria strike, I think it might have been in 2017 when he got elected, I was like, okay, what's going on with that? I'm not for this strike. But his strike, like they warned him ahead of time. They were able to kind of evacuate. It wasn't no kind of surprise from what I was able to see. And if I'm wrong about that, let me know in the comments below. But I'm against that as well. I'm against the whole foreign war thing. Now, back to the reaction. A lot of the left, they're praising it, talking about, oh, this is good because I guess Joe Biden's the president. But some of the left don't like this too much. Kamala Harris reportedly, allegedly, has not been verified 100% as of yet, but Kamala Harris reportedly was not informed about the attack, and she was really upset, really ticked off. And I'm like, Kamala Harris, did you think that your opinion really matters? Is that what you think, that people care what you think? Listen, this whole presidency has nothing to do with the people that are in office. Okay, Joe Biden is the roach from Men in Black. Remember when the spaceship crashed and then the farmer was out there just unsuspectingly got taken over by the roach? That's pretty much Joe Biden. He's a husk of a man. All right. He doesn't even really make a difference as far as what he thinks and what his plans are. That's all been laid out for not only Kamala Harris, but Joe Biden as well by the deep state, if you will, the Democratic Party, the machine, Capitol Hill, whatever you want to label it as, whatever you want to call it. There are groups, or at least one group behind the scenes, making all this stuff happen. Now, Kamala Harris is upset because she didn't get told about it beforehand, allegedly. Do you think Joe Biden was told? I don't think so. Joe Biden was probably in the basement eating his tapioca, applesauce, and his ginger ale, getting ready to go to bed, getting his pillow fluffed by the maid at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And then when he got up in the morning, you saw it on his in his newspaper he's reading with his bifocals. Oh, strike on Syria. Okay, cool. He doesn't really care. I mean, like I said before, it's weekend at Bernie's. He's just a body to get a Democratic Party in the door, to get the establishment in the door. But some on the left are upset at this. I saw Cenk Uygur from Young Turks, he's mad about it, of course, because he's Turkish and that's the same kind of area. But anyway, he's mad about talking about, oh, the establishment's back. Where's the $2,000? Where's the stimmies at? And Anna Kasparian, who's Armenian, she's against it as well. But they're Bernie bros anyway. But my question to Anna and Chunk and everybody else that is like a Bernie Sanders, Gibbs me Democrat, do you think that Bernie Sanders is doing anything different? Do you think that Bernie Sanders would just not allow the deep state to run things? Really? I don't think so. All right. We all saw what happened with him in the Democratic Party in 2016, where he was pretty much just screwed over by the Democratic Party, and they allowed Hillary Clinton to get a nomination. But then he ran again. It's like, sir, you know what they're going to do to you. You know you have no real chance. You're just there to get some people that believe in Santa Claus excited to go out there and vote for whoever it is. They might not even know that you're not on the ballot until they get there. And then they're going to be like, you know what? I'm already here. I may as well vote for Joe Biden. Anything better than Trump. Okay. So Bernie Sanders will have no real ability to do anything different. This has all been planned out for a while. You're probably going to see more of this because as Trump was trying to draw down troops and, bring guys home from Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, etc., you got the Biden administration trying to put more guys in there, talking about war is good. We got to do preemptive strikes, all this, that, and the third. So you got the neocons back in town, the establishment. This is when it kind of gets to be a weird point in between the left and the right. Once you get the establishment, the typical guys in there, you're starting to blur the lines. That's why a lot of us are starting to become more like Trump. And that's why Trump was so popular, because he was actually a guy that was a conservative, actually a guy that had the best interests of America at heart. And he was not a guy that was beholden to the Democratic machine or the political machine in Washington, D.C. He was not that person. He was not beholden to the big money donors. All right. And a lot of guys and girls are coming out like that. Social media is playing a big part in it. It's free promotion. There's no longer a need to spend $1 trillion on radio to win. Donald Trump won with half of the money that Hillary Clinton had. How did that happen? Social media, word of mouth. All right. The traditional avenues of being able to win a presidency that have been around for a very long time are starting to deteriorate. People are waking up. I saw one tweet where it was a liberal guy talking about, well, we flipped Georgia blue because of $2,000 stimulus checks and all we got was Syria strikes. I'm like, so basically you sold those seats and didn't even get paid. Now, to me, that's a funny joke, but he might read that and have to really recognize what's happening. We were sold a thing that's not true. We were told one particular thing, and that's not what's going on. Without social media, without the ability to interact with people like right away, then he may not never know that. And people just can be ignorant. It's easier to keep people ignorant with the old ways of doing things. Where all you had was just ABC, CBS, etc. That was the only way to transmit information. And the newspaper is the same thing. That is no longer the case. There's a lot of different ways to be able to transmit information. All right. And we're learning more and more ways every single day. So as I close, I want to say this. Shout out to all the Democrats who voted for Hope and Change Part 2 and peace and love and all this and that and the third. And you got them Syrian airstrikes. It's funny how they're able to do things so quickly, like go to a whole different part of the world and bomb them with precision strikes. And don't get it twisted. These are not cheap. These are not free. You're talking about millions of dollars per missile, millions of dollars per bomb, millions for these planes, hundreds of millions of dollars for a plane. I was watching a video the other day where they were talking about a passenger plane. Each engine, each of the two engines is like $25 million each. The engines on the plane, not even the whole plane itself, not even the interior, the navigation systems and the fuel, just the engines, $25 million a piece. $50 million just for two engines on one passenger plane. Okay. A Boeing 777 or whatever the case may be. Imagine how much a fighter plane is to go from the U.S. on over to Syria, aircraft carriers, fuels, bombs, troops, all that. A big amount of money. Now, the so-called deep state, their establishment, a Democratic Party, some of the Republicans, they're going to eat off of that. They're going to capitalize off of that. But how are you going to do? Gas has been going up and up and up and up ever since the election. Now, you got a whole airstrike in Syria, and you're going to inflame things over there as far as the tensions between the Sunni, the Shia, ISIS, and all of that. So are we going to have oil even higher? You didn't kill Keystone XL and you're trying to get it from Syria. What's going to be the next thing? Hopefully, all you guys that voted for Biden are enjoying your experience. We tried to warn you. We tried to tell you what's going on, but you didn't want to listen to us. You say, oh, you guys know what you're talking about. You guys are crazy, but here you are. You got what you asked for. If you having buyer's remorse, oh, well, I can't really do nothing for you. Try again and do better in 2024. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Do you think that this strike in Syria was necessary? Was it needed? Do we have to do that because we got to protect our troops in Iraq? And that's your viewpoint. Let me know why in the comments below. Or was it not needed? Should we even be over there in Syria and Iraq and Afghanistan and everywhere else, Yemen, Saudi? Should we even be over there? Why are we over there? It's not to try to encourage peace or to get to a point of peace, because they've been fighting over there forever. So my question is, if you want us to be over there for peace, how long do we stay? Forever? Because that's how long they've been fighting. They've been fighting since the dawn of man. The dawn of man. How are we going to, and it's always been something different. It could be Islam versus Christianity. It can be the oil. It can be land. It can be empire building. It can be whatever it is. It's always fighting over there. What are we going to do as Americans to stop what they've been doing for their entire existence? Nothing. I think there's an ulterior motive there. And in my humble opinion, it's about the oil over in Syria and not much else. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.